Hey gorgeous souls, I hope you're having a great week. I decided to jump in with a video midweek this week. I actually missed our last Friday video, so I thought I'd jump in and do a video today. And I really wanted to speak about something that I was chatting with clients on a regular basis about, because it's one thing that really impacts us. And let's face it, when our intimate relationship, and this is, applicable to all relationships, this is not just about intimate relationship, but often if our intimate relationship is not feeling great or we've got stuff going on, it really derails us in every other life area. Often people are quite highly triggered. The closer that we are to somebody, the stronger the rules that we have for our particular relationship or for what's going on, and the more it impacts us emotionally, and certainly with stability and everything else. Good morning, great to have you guys on here. So hey Sandra, lovely to have you on here, darling. Please say hi if you're jumping on too. So one of the things is that really trips us up is the meaning that we make about anything. This is our greatest freedom as human beings, and I'll share with you why this is so applicable in relationship as well. Good morning, Helen, great to have you on, darling. With anything, the only reason we become emotionally reactive to any situation in life is because of what we've made that event mean. Rarely is it just the event, it's what we make it mean. Hey Amanda, great to have you on as well. When we do this, it's the meaning that's created as to whether we feel happy or to why we feel sad. It's really the cause of so much human suffering, and particularly long-term suffering. So if, often we can feel like we have something that comes up or something that presents as a challenge, but if you really feel like you cannot let go of that thing, it's because of the meaning that you've made that, or the meaning that you've given that particular event or that particular experience. And the thing is, with being human, we tend to take it super personally, and we tend to make it mean something about ourselves or something about others, which means something about ourselves, right? And particularly in relationship, often we have such strong rules, unconscious rules, that we are not even aware of, that we're projecting onto everybody else. So when somebody doesn't show up at a particular time, we make it mean they don't care about me, they don't love me, I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, they don't value me, they don't respect me. We have all these different projections that are going on. So a really fast way to overcome emotional issues and to gain greater self-awareness and greater self-clarity in any moment is ask yourself the question, what am I really making this mean? Because often we assume a whole bunch. We assume that they don't care. We assume that they don't love us. We assume that they're not respecting us. We assume all of these different things, and it's all based on our own internal fears. And then of course we have a reaction to that often then triggers this ping pong effect, where it goes back and forth, because now our partner or whoever you're in relationship with that you're having the challenge with is now also triggered emotionally because they've made it mean something else when you've responded back that way. And it really can trip up a lot of people in relationship. If somebody's tired, if somebody's exhausted, and they answer, maybe a little bit shorter than, or they're a little bit more blunt, or they're a little bit more rushed, our mind goes back to a particular time in the past, and this is all unconscious, and it happens so fast because your subconscious reacts 5 seconds faster than what your conscious mind can think. So unless you're actually pausing and stopping consciously to ask yourself, what am I making this mean? You're already in the reaction. You're already verbalizing something, or if you've ever had that moment, and I certainly have many times, where it's oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying that thing, right? In that moment, it's stop, but it's already happening. It's already coming out, and perhaps you can relate with that. And if you do, maybe send me some love as well, because I totally know what that feels like. And it's because the unconscious has already determined a meaning. It's gone back, it's searched through all its files of all the past events, and it's gone, oh my God, when this happened in the past, now that means this. And we bring our past constantly into our future reality or our present moment reality, which then continues to shape the next reality because of how we're choosing to react in that experience. And it is really, really difficult. That's why patterns and dynamics in relationships continue to play out again and again and again, because when I do this, then I make it mean this, and then when they do this, they make it mean this, and there's that ping pong effect back and forth. And it's really, really challenging because neither party is actually stopping to actually really clarify, hey, hang on a sec, what's actually being triggered for me? What's going on? What is the deeper wound that I'm actually experiencing that I'm now blaming you for? What am I making this mean? So it is a great, great, great question. But further than that, deeper than that, we have to go in and heal those parts of ourselves. We have to become even more aware. What is the dynamic? What wound am I trying to heal, perhaps from childhood? And without spending like a whole bunch of time searching back for like a whole heap of stuff, that is one of the things that we can really kind of get lost or lose ourselves in and waste a whole bunch of time, because ultimately, like, you wanting the outcome of the great relationship or feeling better in the moment, right? So, we can kind of get lost down the rabbit hole of going, oh, well, it must be because of this. Oh, it must be because of that. Oh, it must be because, this kid said this to me, like when I was in like third grade. And we can build a whole story and a whole narrative, which actually goes on to support that fearful identity or the wounded ego even more, and builds a bigger story around all of those hurts as well. So by doing the inner work, by getting clear and knowing the processes or the strategies and tools to be able to help clear those things instantly, really, really makes a huge difference in then being able to move into those dynamics or those situations where now you're consciously recreating what it is that you want moving forward and the outcome that you actually wish to create moving forward. And I remember doing this certainly in my relationship with my kids, where I was very reactive as a parent, and would take everything personally because I didn't know how to love myself, and therefore I took everything super personally, because I felt it was an immediate criticism or immediate impact. So I was super reactive to it, as opposed to, hey, what's actually really going on here? And often when the other person's having a moment, often it's actually got nothing to do with ourselves, but again, we make it mean something about ourselves, and we do it all unconsciously. So it's one of the things that I'm most passionate about is emotional mastery, is really getting clear on that. It's something that we cover off on deep detail in my Thrive program. But also one of the things that I've really worked a lot over the last 12 years, I've worked with thousands of people in order to really help and give the skills and the tools and the strategies around this. If this is an area that you know that you have really struggled with and you're looking for some skills or tools, or perhaps, you realize how much that this is impacting you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, how much it impacts perhaps even like what you allow yourself to have in life, how it impacts the physical energy and vitality that you have, how it impacts your intimate relationship, how it impacts your relationship perhaps even with your children or loved ones or those around you or family or friends, how it impacts how you show up at work. All of those things get cleared, and life just gets better and better and better when we're working on these things and when we're clearing those. So if that's resonating for you, please reach out, send me a PM. Let's have a conversation and see where you're currently at, what's going on for you, and we can chat about if and how I might be able to help you with that as well. And yes, absolutely, Helen. I love that. So you're getting the instant feedback of, oh, this is a trigger from what's going on previously. I'm just trying to click on see more. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like understanding like what is, and obviously, you've applied the work in so many different ways as well for yourself too, hun. So yeah, often it's going back and what am I making this mean? And then doing the inner work around that as well. And of course, the inner work is everything that I teach around the tools and the strategies to really have you feel emotionally stable, centered, and be able to communicate effectively effectively. That's one of the biggest challenges that really come up in relationships, because it's all this unspoken stuff, it's all the subconscious stuff that, when we're assuming that that's what it means, and we actually haven't taken the time to really understand from the other person's perspective, all of that really trips us up, and it gets in the way of us communicating our needs, but also understanding the other person's perspective really clearly and really easily, because in our mind we're still trying to defend ourselves or convince the other to hear us, or we're feeling like, oh, they don't listen to me. And it's because we're trying to still get across our thought, our idea, our opinion, our beliefs, and project that onto the other person, and it just results in this. It never ends well. So really important. If you've just jumped on here, jump back to the start of the video, and have a watch and see whether that really resonates for you. And like I said, if that really speaks to your heart and it's something that 100% is going on for you and really impacting your physical well-being, whether that's through emotional eating or smoking or drinking or any of those other things, please reach out to me, send me a PM. Let's have a conversation and see if and how I might be able to support you with that. Have a great day. Bye for now.